Hey everyone, Miss GoElectric here. This is the very first public day for the Electrify Expo, and they're kicking it off with a Ford Cars and Coffee. So let's head on over there and check out what cars they have on display.
There were plenty of Mach-Es in every flavor, along with some F-150 Lightnings. In the distance, I spotted a table where crepes were being made. The F-150 Lightning was providing the power. A quick glance at the dashboard told us that 1,400 watts were being supplied. Once again, V2L tech allowed us to avoid the inconvenience, noise, and smell of gasoline generators. We also avoided the hassle of having electricians run shore power from the convention center.
Hey guys, look, it's Zach Model 3. Shout out to Talik, charged positive. Well, this is such a special treat, the Focus Electric. This is a really special car because the person right behind the camera right now, producer Tim, actually launched the Focus Electric back in 2009. So he spent a lot of time with this car. It's like his baby. So we're really excited to see this. It's such a treasure and a historical vehicle for Ford, that's for sure.
We couldn't stay long enough to try coffee because we had to get into the show. We loved the Micromobility parking, where guests checked their personal rides in for safekeeping while they roamed the grounds. Most brands and form factors were represented, and it was fun to look at what folks are riding locally. The scale of the event was impressive. You can see exhibits from automakers, personally owned show cars, electric motorcycles, e-bikes, plenty of micromobility solutions, and a lot more. Let's start with the automakers because they were front and center when guests walked in. Volvo brought out the XC40 and C40 Recharge. Ford had an F-150 Lightning and a Mach-E. Toyota brought out the BZ4X and the Lexus RZ450e, which I hadn't yet explored inside. Volkswagen brought along a vintage bus, but no ID Buzz. They did have an ID4 on hand. Kia had a pair of EV9 pre-production models on display, as well as a pair of Neros and an EV6. BMW and Chrysler exhibited as well. Tesla captured a great deal of attention because they were there in an official capacity. Not only did they have all 4 of their models on display, as well as their EVSE and Powerwall solution, but they also had a full fleet available for test drives. Several automakers welcomed attendees to get behind the wheel on the road. I had already driven everything available, but for most buyers, the expo was a perfect low-pressure opportunity to experience EVs. This year, dozens of privately owned and modded EVs were on display. Some were restored classics and others were tricked out current models. Vendors related to show car culture filled out the area nicely as well. BJ Birtwell, who founded Electrify Expo, has a lot of experience producing show car events. I took some time to sit down with him for an interview and learned a lot. There's a link to that interview in the description. Electrify Expo had the largest collection of micromobility products I've ever seen in one place. I do this stuff every day, and there were a few e-bikes and scooters in there I hadn't even heard of before. Many e-mobility companies are direct to consumer, and for many buyers, the only way to test one out is an event like Electrify Expo.
All right, there are a lot of e-bikes, e-mobility devices that I definitely want to test out while I'm here at Electrify Expo. And one of my first stops here is ride one up because I've been eyeing this Rev and I've been wanting to test it out. So let's take it out on the course and see what it's got.
The course offered several surfaces and room to stretch out even with a powerful bike like the Rev 1. I have a full review of the Rev 1 scheduled soon, so if you subscribe on YouTube, you'll get notified of that. We stopped by the new booth to try their belt-driven dual-battery city bike called the BQi-C3. New is the largest producer of smart two-wheel vehicles in the world, and we've always been impressed by their cohesive style. We sat down for an interview with their global director of strategy to gain some big-picture insight on the industry. That video is linked in the description as well. Premium miniaturization doesn't come cheap, but we were impressed with the innovation over at GoCycle. There were e-bikes at all price points and form factors from major and minor brands. The variety is staggering, and most brands offered demo rides. Aventura had some beautiful scooters too. Over in the micromobility section, there were all kinds of boards, kick scooters, one-wheels, and then there was the Dragonfly. The unique form factor, quad suspension, and fantastic looks drew us in. We learned a lot from their team, and I took a prototype around the dedicated micromobility track. Dragonfly isn't yet delivered to customers, but we plan to publish a slightly larger sneak peek and maybe a full review later this year. There were all sorts of incredible electric motorcycles on display and up for demonstration. I haven't yet earned my motorcycle endorsement, so I didn't look very closely. There was also a dirt track for e-mountain bikes, which looked like a ton of fun. And there were food trucks. I ran out of time to get everything, which means Electrify Expo packs a ton of value. Check out the link in the description to see when they'll be stopping near you. I'll also post a discount code for ticket sales.
Well, it really has been a blast here at Electrify Expo in Long Beach. Special thanks to Electrify Expo for inviting us here to check it out. This is a full weekend event, and I can imagine using the full 2 days to explore everything because they had electric scooters, electric mopeds. Not only that, but all these different types of micro-mobility devices and all the cars here. So Tesla, big name here, Ford, Toyota, Kia, all those brands coming together to really pave the way for more electric mobility to expand. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and don't forget, until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.